All right, Coach. So how was the response this week? I know after the game you were ready to get back to it on Monday. What's been the response like after getting home from Lubbock?
All the players have done so far is lift weights and go to the training room. So we'll get with the players tonight, have some meetings. I expect and I'm going to demand out of them a lot of energy and effort this week. It's a big night for our program and for a lot of the seniors.
Scott, you mentioned, back to that, you mentioned after the game on Saturday that this game was really important to you. This game meant a lot. Can you kind of elaborate why this game is as important for you this week?
Well, there's a lot of seniors that I've only spent about 10 months with, but are great kids and are doing things the right way. This is going to be their last chance to play. It's our whole team's, as this team's last chance to play a home game together. I think we need to get the momentum turned back the right way. It's a chance to go out and perform better than we did last week. So it's a big game for us.
Coach, kind of on that note, this is going to be the final home game of the season. Obviously, another one after that. But what has the season meant to you in knowing that you're going to be, after this week, completed a full season at the Bounce House?
No, it's great to be back. I really do love my job. I love being in Orlando. This is a challenge, and sometimes you got to embrace the hard as you're going through it to get where you want to get. I know our players aren't satisfied with the results so far, but they've been putting in work. We got to keep improving here at the end of the season. We need to play better this week than we played last week. All in all, it's been a great experience, just not quite the results we want right now. But we have a chance to change that this week.
In this transfer portal era, how do you think senior day has changed when you have so many guys that maybe are just here for a year?
Yeah, it's changed a little, definitely. And there's also probably some guys that aren't sure if they're playing their last college game or not, depending on rules and, people trying to get another year of eligibility. And right now, I don't blame these guys. A lot of them want extra years of eligibility because they're getting compensated pretty well for what they do, on top of just the fact that they love the game and want to keep playing. So it's a little more ambiguous, but, there's still some guys that have been around here a long time, have a lot of love for UCF and Orlando, and it's going to mean a lot to them.
Coach, I know the past several weeks have had results that you might have wished gone differently, but do you feel like that the stuff you did during the off season, like the program and stuff like that, to implement the culture, has really borne fruit as you see how the team is running now?
We've made progress because of a lot of the things that we've done from a culture standpoint, but there's also no magic button to push to make it all work. That's a process, and I think the guys that we have come a long way from that standpoint. I feel like I inherited a group, nobody's fault, but inherited a group where there wasn't a lot of feeling of team. I think we've come a long way with that, but we still have a ways to go.
Malachi and Paul are a couple of guys that have played their entire careers at UCF. What do you feel like their legacy should be, and how much should fans appreciate that in this era where you have so much movement on a year-to-year basis?
Well, they're old guys. Malachi's in the back pulling gray hairs out of his head, I think. It's not very often anymore that someone stays someplace for as long as they have. I think Paul's been here about 9 years. I know those guys care a lot about UCF. That's why they stayed this year. They're great leaders for us. They're great kids for us. So I'm happy that they've got to enjoy their college experience at UCF, and hopefully we can send them out the right way.
Coach, when you talk about progress, what do you think worked well for you this season that you're going to try and carry into in the next couple of weeks?
That's a big question. There's certainly things that I think have gone really well and other things that haven't been up to the standard that I need to demand from the program. And, those are kind of off-season questions. Right now our focus has to be on preparation today for this weekend and getting ready as much as we can. Obviously, we think about those things as we're going through this process, but those are all kind of cans of worms that will open after the season's over.
Talked a little bit about kind of how senior days change with how transient things are, but how have kind of the seniors and more veteran players helped, even if they're new, establish the kind of program you're looking to build and build the foundation for the future of this program?
Like I said, I think it's a pretty good start. Guys like Myles, who's in the back of the room, I wish I had 40 of them. First and foremost, he loves football, and guys like that are fun to be around on a daily basis because they love being out there, they love the work, they love the approach to it. Second, he's just a great human being. He's become a good leader for us. I think both these guys have a lot of football left in their life, but you have to lean on those guys. The guys next year and going forward will have an advantage. The ones that we retain already have an idea of what we expect and what the standards are. It was all a learning process for everybody this year, and a lot of guys step into those roles for the first time. And I think some of these guys did a great job of that.
Coach, you've always been fight to the end. You've still got 2 games left. You can still get that extra game.
Hell yeah, we can. But, it's this week. It's just this week. When we put our head down and really prepped well and come out and played fast and hard, we've played well, and that's what I expect this week.
Scott was going to ask, what does senior day mean to you? I mean, you went through one obviously as a player. What does it mean to you when having that opportunity for seniors to be recognized?
The neatest thing for me on senior day is just to give guys a hug and thank them for what they've done. The relationship part of this job is still the best part of coaching. Being around guys and feeling like you can make a little difference in their lives and pour into them just a little bit. That makes all the time we spend doing this worth it. Through the ups and downs, we get to go be with each other and build that sense of team, and that's pretty special.
Players themselves, I know, can get emotional, but you as a coach, you've had a short time with some of these players, but does it still get emotional to you still?
Yeah, but when you've been in the game long enough, you're pretty good at just kind of putting things, categorizing them and kind of hiding them away. And I'll be mission focused. Certainly excited for them, but you have to kind of prioritize the game and not let yourself get too caught up in it.
Coach, what do you remember most about your senior day as a player?
Oh man, it's just so long ago. I don't remember much. I think we won the game pretty easy. That's all I really remember.
Adai had some touches on Saturday. What did you like about what you saw from him?
Yeah, obviously there's several positions like that. Like I said after the game, that we were expecting AG probably to be our number 5 going into the season, and he's found himself the number 2. I thought he had one really good run. Thought he did well with the opportunities that he had. He's still learning too and young, but certainly glad we have him, and he's going to be a key part of this going forward.
Coach, it's been a difficult season for Oklahoma State with the early coaching change. They hung around, this past weekend against Kansas State. Just kind of what's your evaluation been as you've gotten an early look at the Cowboys?
One thing I give them a lot of credit for is you don't see a team that's given up. They played a good Kansas State team last week and fought them right to the end, a 14-6 game. So even with a coaching change, the guys that have taken over that program are obviously doing a good job with the morale. You see a bunch of guys playing hard, and it showed up last week with a tight game with a good team.
3 years in the game, did you have any interactions with Mike Gundy along the way?
Yeah, I know Mike a little bit, not really well. I certainly respect what he accomplished there. That's an awfully good run to be in one place as long as he was, and it's not very often in this business that you get to go out on your own terms and things end well, and you're lucky if you're one of those guys. But over time, I hope everybody looks back on his career and the success he has, and see what a good run he had at Oklahoma State, and I think that's how history will remember it.
Coach, at this point of the season, the team has suffered a lot of injuries, but that has opened up some opportunities for some of the younger talent on this roster. Would you say that's almost an opportunity for them to prove what they can maybe do next season as you look at the game, or are you not focused on that?
No, you're not focused on that, but it's always there. I want our guys to understand that every single thing they do is being evaluated, and every single play is being evaluated, and it's a tryout and an interview for the next game and the next week and the next year. And certainly some guys are getting some run that we didn't expect to get some run, but that gives them an opportunity to get some experience and us an opportunity to do a good evaluation too.
You mentioned after the game Saturday that you were looking to get Davi some playing time, that he's earned some playing time. What is the situation at quarterback still, and how important is it to get him some reps, as you begin planning not only for the rest of the season but for the future?
Yeah, one of the things in last game, we just wanted to try to do the best we could to get guys out of the game healthy. We're kind of down to 2 quarterbacks right now with Tay and Davi, and it'll be that way this week as well.
Coach, back on the topic of injuries there, any status updates on the likes of Chris Domercan or Carter Mill and Keegan Smith?
Probably Carter will not be available. Chris Domercan, we'll see. He got hit pretty good, and he's in protocol and getting checked by doctors. I think he's got a chance, but we're certainly going to err on the side of caution with things like that.
Scott, you mentioned just a little bit ago that you're down to 2 quarterbacks. Do you have an emergency option in case something were to happen?
Yeah, I'm only 50, so KZ, if we don't ask him to run with his knee, I'm really excited to get him in there. No, we've talked about that, and we're going to talk about it more and make sure we get somebody appropriate reps to go in and be able to function if need be.
Would that option include maybe someone who maybe isn't a quarterback on the roster right now, but maybe previously played it at some point?
I think so. That could be an option. Obviously, we have 3 quarterbacks left, and that's the first option. But you never know what can happen, and we'll probably need somebody else who can at least take a snap and hand it off.
When you were talking about senior day, you kind of alluded to the fact that, guys are going to walk with maybe they still have a chance to play more college football with eligibility. And maybe were you talking about medical red shirts? Maybe like a Cam Fancher who's been injured most of this year. Is there a chance he could come back and get a medical red shirt?
Yeah, there's a chance with some of them. And, sometimes those decisions are hard because those are waivers and you don't know how the waiver is going to turn out. What I will say is, like any job you have anywhere, if you just decide not to show up at the job and do your job, you're probably not going to have that job very long, and you're definitely not going to get paid for it. With a lot of our kids, they're great kids. If they want to make a decision to try to salvage a year, those are discussions that we have to have internally. And, they have a better chance of us helping them with that if they're doing everything the right way and they're a positive part of the program. So those are all kind of one-offs, but we're going to do what's right for the program first, and hopefully that aligns with what's best for each individual because we care about the kids too.
If you looked at Taven's stats Saturday, he completed most of his passes. Most were short. What's your comfort with your deep passing game right now?
Well, in that game, there wasn't as much comfort as I would like to have. We took a couple shots in that game. We haven't hit on enough yet. They had a pretty good pass rush, so trying to stand back in the pocket and wait for those things to develop downfield, unless we are in heavy protections, probably wasn't going to be good. And we just didn't have that many possessions either in that game. A couple 3-and-outs to start the game, and I think we had 1 drive in the 4th quarter. So, that limits your opportunities to call plays, and I've said this all along. This team, when we've gotten things rolling on offense and earned a couple first down or 2, and are able to shoot our shots with some of our plays, things have gone really well. We got to keep getting that first down so we can get more things called.
Obviously not asking you to expose the game plan, but when we've seen Davi Belfort, it's been mostly for quarterback runs, or even if he's dropped back, he's kind of taken off and scrambled with it. Would you hope to see him get more comfortable in the passing game, or are you fine with where he is right now, taking the ball and running it?
Well, I never want somebody to be what they're not. Steve Young as a rookie took off and ran more than he did in his 8th year, and he's a Hall of Famer. I've seen a lot of guys that are good athletes that make up their mind, I have to throw as good as the next guy, and they don't use the talent they have. Obviously, Davi will continue to improve in everything he does as he gets more reps, and I said this, but it hasn't been completely fair to him to put him in the situation he's in without having gotten a lot of reps over the course of this year. So we're trying to make up a little ground on that now, but Davi's capable of running our whole offense.
You talked a little bit, mentioned Paul earlier, but a guy who's been around here, like you joked, 9 years. He's been around this program for so long. What does he mean to you guys, especially coming back here for your return here for your coaching?
He was a great anchor for us. He's like an ambassador to UCF, being a foreign student and being around here as long as he can. And I know the passion he has for UCF. He's loved his time here, like most of the guys have, and we'll be sad to see him go, but I think he has bright things ahead.
Malachi, you've been here longer than anybody, well, you and Paul, and you committed to the previous staff. Did you enroll early that year?
No, sir.
So you didn't actually, so when you got here, Gus was already here your first season?
Yes.
Okay. Well, just kind of reflect on this journey. What's it been like, going through your entire career at UCF? It's not something we see that often these days.
Right. It's been a great journey, just going through the different coaching staffs, getting to know people, build different relationships. It's been pretty good. Just having different coaches as well, so like learning new schemes, also getting to grow my football IQ. So it's been pretty good.
Malachi, I mean, obviously your focus is on Oklahoma State this week, but have you thought about the emotions you're going to feel stepping on the field for the last time here, and shaking hands with coach, and then going out to be standing with the family?
No, I haven't thought about it really yet, but it's probably going to be definitely emotional. Just my last game in the bounce house in front of all the fans and stuff. But that's something to just reflect on.
Malachi, obviously you have 2 games to go, maybe 3, but what's the legacy you hope you left at UCF?
I just hope that people showing that I played my hardest out there. I tried my best. So that's really the legacy, and like just showing that you can stay somewhere all 4 years and still have a good career.
What are you most proud of? Individual accomplishment or?
What I'm most proud of is just seeing like how UCF has grown, and seeing like myself how I've grown with UCF. So like just building my pass rush like with different coaches, and also seeing like the people before me like Drop and Josh Seliscar, just those people. It's just been pretty good.
Has that been a challenge to grow with different coaches and different coaching staffs, or were those new coaches help you in your growth and development?
No, it hasn't been a challenge at all. They definitely have all helped me, just learning different. Some of them have different techniques, and just getting to know, like, I can put those in my arsenal. It's not just like I have to do one specific one. Now I know 2 different things.
Malachi, you go down a couple games ago where a game time decision out in Lubbock. Just tell us about what that kind of week leading into it was like, trying to rehab and get yourself ready for that game, and how you held up through it.
It was just really a mentally get ready week, because I knew it felt good, but it was just the mental part about it. So it was like rehab was good and everything, but like I said, it was just the mental part.
What do you remember as your first impressions of UCF coming down here from Louisville, and then how has it kind of evolved and maybe met the expectations along the way?
The first impression was it was hot in Orlando. Man, getting here in the summer, just working out in the summer was different. And just, what was the other part?
In what ways has it met or exceeded your expectations or hopes when you decided to commit here and come here and sign here?
It's exceeded it a lot. Like, just signing here as a 3-star, I really didn't even have any pass rush moves. But, like, just getting to develop my game and my skill, it's been amazing here.
Malachi, as you just do a lot of reflecting this week, what's your favorite moment as a Knight?
Really, probably the Gasparilla Bowl 2021 against Florida. I didn't even play that game, but like it was just an amazing experience. Just getting to see like the crowds, the different sides. It was just a great experience.
Kind of building on that, then we've obviously talked a little bit about kind of coaching changes and how things have shifted within the program. But how important has it been to help leave the foundation for the future generation with kind of the changes that have happened this season?
It's definitely been important. Just showing people like how to really lead themselves, like showing them what works and what doesn't work, and just like the people, not saying under me, but like that are looking up to me. I say it's very important to me. Just I want to see them have a great career here too as well, and just get the best and the most out of UCF.
I know you want to finish the season strong, but are you giving thought to what happens after the season? I'm sure you want to get looks at the next level. Obviously, you grinding it out and playing this past week, and that probably speaks volumes too. So what do you hope you've put out there for potential NFL scouts?
Just showing them that I've developed and I can develop, like just from last year to this year, just already having more sacks and less snaps. Like that means something. So it just shows that even though I can have a down year, like the following year I can like make it up. So it just shows like I can be developed. Feel like.
Malachi, what's the attitude of the team right now? The record is what it is, but you still have 2 games left. You two must-win situations. You win them both. You get that extra game your senior year.
Exactly. The attitude with the team is good. Like, we came into the lift and we attacked it. So I feel like that's a good sign to start out. Like, nobody was late, nobody missed. So that's obviously a good sign. You know, it shows that people still care. And it's not really about, like, why you're down, like, what you're doing to be down and stuff. It's really, like, just how can we come together to win these last 2 games and also be bowl eligible.
Malachi, kind of building on the fact that you've been at UCF for your entire career, it's a different kind of era of college football now where the transfer portal is utilized, and people sometimes they'll stay on the same team for 2-3 seasons. Do you think, like, as a leader of this team, you try to pass down to the younger guys and see, like, hey, maybe it is worth staying and building where you are instead of just trying to go different places?
Right. I hope that I just really showed them that, like, you can still stay here, even with coaching changes and stuff. Like, you can still get a good career out of where you stay. And sometimes, like, even if you try to transfer, the grass isn't always green on the other side. And so you may have had a better opportunity if you stayed where you are. So that's some of the thoughts that I put into it, too.
Malachi, you've been around with a lot of the guys. Paul Rubelt, for instance, who's been here just as long. What makes Paul special in his time that he's been here?
I've been going against Paul since I got here. So, like, just building that relationship. Like, he's really the one my freshman year who tore my labrum. So, like, he chopped my arm. So, like, we really built that relationship. Like, he was sorry about it. I was like, it wasn't your fault. Like, it's just football. So, but just that relationship we've got to build over these years, just going against each other every day at practice, building that bond, getting extra reps after practice, it's been really special.
Malachi, what's the difference between the Malachi Lawrence that first stepped onto campus at UCF versus the one we're looking at right now?
A big difference. Shoot, when I got to college, I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't know anything. I just got here, and then, like, right now, it's just how can I finish the season going out with a bang, and also how can we come together as a team to win. And, like, when I got here, I wasn't really a leader. I was somebody who would try to lead by example, per se. But now I feel like I'm more of a vocal person. I stand out, and I also can lead by example if you need that.
All right, thanks, Malachi.
Appreciate it.
All right, Myles, feels like you've been around this team a while. I know this is only your second year, but what has it meant to you to be part of this program and, coming back home and being from the state of Florida?
It's been a lot to me. UCF has changed my life forever for the good. I was in a really good spot, just mentally and all that, when transferring. Like I said before, this is probably the best decision I've ever made in my life. They changed it for the better. I'm so grateful. I owe UCF my life.
Myles, have you thought about that moment on Saturday, the last home game here, running out of the tunnel and everything, what it's going to mean to you?
No, not yet. Kind of focused on these last 2 games. It's kind of like a new season for us, but I'm sure emotions will flow or something when that time comes.
Myles, like you've said, 2 years and 2 more games to go, but have you thought about the legacy you want to leave at UCF, especially taking such a big leap this year?
Yeah, I mean, when people say my name, I want them to just refer to me as a real lunch pail guy, hard hat guy. Just gets his work done. He's very reliable. We talk about that all the time as a team. That's what you want for people to tell you. When they talk about you, say that guy's reliable. So.
And what about the comments that Coach Frost said, like, I wish I had 40 of you on the team? What does that do for your confidence and just overall as a leader and help you stay motivated?
I mean, it's always good to get a little attaboy here and there. But to be honest, I mean, very grateful for kind words like that. But you just got to keep pushing. You can't let stuff like that you can't take stuff like that and run with it. I mean, so.
What were the emotions when you have to watch the game on Saturday from the sidelines and you don't get to play?
Obviously, I want to be out there and play. Didn't get into this to be a fan. If I want to do that, I'd be behind the gate. But I mean, just doing what I best I can, lead the best I can, and just be a good teammate on and off the field. We talk about that all the time. It's why I see on my chest, a good teammate, if I'm playing or not.
What'd you think of AG?
Really good. I call him my son. Very proud of him, man. I told you guys before, he's good, way better than I was as a freshman, and you finally guys got to see it. Like, he can hold his own out there. So I'm glad to see what he's going to do next year and the rest of his career.
Myles, Coach was talking about how, he inherited a program and the feeling of team with that. Do you feel like that feeling of team has changed a lot from this past year to now, and how did this year has kind of felt different from last year, even if some struggles have still been there?
I couldn't really give you a good answer on that, just because last year I was kind of a guy who just gets his work done and just goes about his business. So I really wasn't too in tune into what's the talk in the locker room, what's going on here, who's not happy, this and that. But I will say we're a really good team now, a really good tight-knit team now, and that's all that really matters, to be honest.
Do you think that involvement and being in tune kind of helps with that?
Yeah, for sure. You always want to be as close as you can in any team setting, any team sport, even at your job, right? So.
Saturday, you were listed as a game time decision. So what was the process during warm-ups and testing it out to see if you could go?
I mean, just the normal practices, just seeing how you feel, doctors testing you out, things like that.
How does your shoulder feel this weekend? Are you expecting to go out there and play?
We're taking it day by day right now.
Myles, when you reflect on your years here at UCF, what's your favorite moment as a Knight?
My favorite moment, probably my first touchdown in the bounce house. That little leak out I got and running down the sideline, that felt good, man.
What was going through your mind when that happened?
I don't know. At first, I didn't think he was going to see me because I was, like, way over there. And the ball came a little low, so I'm like, oh, my God, I got to catch this. And as I'm running, I'm like, oh, I might score. And I broke that little, like, swipe tackle. I was like, oh, my gosh. So that felt good. That felt really good. My first touchdown at the bounce house, I'll never forget that.
Myles, you heard me ask Malachi, you're the leader of this team. 2 games left. Yes, your backs are against the wall, but 2 wins get you the bowl game. Is there anything you can do to push your teammates for 2 weeks to try and get this done?
Yeah, when we get out there on the field in like more of a team setting, I'm just going to let them know, guys, that whatever happened before doesn't matter. This is a 2-game season now that we're going off of, right? We have to win both of them, and both teams are really, really good football teams, and we've got to work for these wins.
Well, you were kind of reflecting at the start how this was the best decision you could have made, that you weren't in a great spot, when you transfer. Can you kind of elaborate more of what this experience at UCF has meant to you and how it's made you a better person?
It feels good just to be back at home. Just to answer your question, I just wasn't a very good person, I guess you could say. I wasn't really talking to my family much, just things like that. And as I got here, I just started just feeling more myself. That's really the main reason why. I just didn't feel like I was myself, and I feel like it was time for a change, and now I'm here.
It's been a lot of transition and change in your 2 years here, but how do you feel like you've helped build the foundation for the future with Coach Frost and the rest of this program?
Even just last year, just doing my best to do what I'm told, do what I'm asked to do as best as my ability, and being that example for everybody. That's all I can do as a player, is do what I'm asked to do.
Kind of similar to what we asked Malachi, what do you hope you've shown maybe NFL scouts that you can do at the next level?
That I'm a ball player. I can affect the game in multiple ways, just blocking, catching the ball in the backfield, running the ball. When people cut the film on, I want them to see that I'm a guy who needs to be on the field at all times, whether it's, like I said, blocking, catching, making a good play out of nothing, things like that.
Myles, I asked Malachi this, but obviously Paul Rubelt's been around the program, 5-6 years. What is your favorite Paul moment, and what stands out to you about his presence in this program?
My favorite Paul moment I probably can't say on here, but I will say, I'm serious. I will say, though, in the short time that I've known him, man, it's almost like a brother to me. I love Paul, man. I love him. It's so many things I could just say about him. We'll be up here for hours. But Paul's been a great guy you want to meet. At first, I was kind of confused. He's German and all that, so I didn't really know what to expect from him. But, man, I love Paul, man. I love Paul. It's like my brother.
Myles, Coach was talking about how you really are trying to, work and get back for this senior day game. What have you been working on so far, and what would it mean to you given the work you've had to put in just to be ready for this game to walk out there and get on the field?
Just business as usual. No need to change the routine or anything like that. Like I said about doing what you're asked of by the coaches, I got to go in the training room and do what I'm asked by the trainers to do my best to get back for the game.
What do you see as the future of this program, and telling younger guys, whether they're on the team or maybe some guys you know that are from high schools that you grew up in or the area you grew up in?
I think UCF, specifically this team this year, if we retain most of the guys, like I'm sure we will, it's going to trend up in a good direction. If you look at it, it's probably only 3 games where we really got our butts kicked. Other games was a fairly close game, and you have to look at it like this. Other teams, I think Frost has said it before, other teams that we've lost to in those close games have already been through what we're going through right now. A coaching change, a whole new team. They're on year 3. We're on year 1 and giving them a run for their money. And that's just solely, has nothing to do with X's and O's, has nothing to do with how much money someone's making, has nothing to do with how good a uniform looks. It's strictly on culture, and I feel like we have a really good foundation for that. And I think the young guys, they know what to do, what not to do, and how it looks, and all they have to do is keep doing this, and they're going to go, the sky's the limit.
Thanks, Myles.